In a land surrounded by lush forests, rolling savannas, and towering hills, there was a small village called Yudochi. The villagers were hardworking people who tilled the soil and hunted the animals of the land for survival. At the heart of Yudochi lived three sisters, Nkem, Adana, and Obiajili. They were the daughters of the village's most skilled weaver and were known for their beauty, intelligence, and loyalty to each other. The sisters had lost their mother at a young age, and their father, Onwukwi, had raised them with love and discipline. He often told them tales of courage and warned them about the dangers of the hills that loomed in the distance. These hills were home to a terrible monster, Ekwensu Odri, a creature so fearsome that no one who ventured into its domain ever returned. Ekwensu Odri was said to be a hulking beast with fiery eyes, razor-sharp claws, and a voice that shook the earth. It was also known for its cunning, often luring unsuspecting villagers to their doom. The hills were considered forbidden, and no one dared approach them. But fate, as it often does, had other plans for the three sisters. The disappearance of Onwukwi. One fateful morning, Onwukwi set out for the forest to gather special fibers for his weaving. He was skilled at his craft and often traveled to distant parts of the forest to find the best materials. However, by nightfall, Onwukwi had not returned. Days turned into weeks, and the villagers began to fear the worst. Some whispered that Ekwensu Odri had taken him, while others suggested he had lost his way in the dense forest. The sisters refused to believe their father was gone forever. "We cannot sit here and do nothing," Nkem, the eldest, declared one evening as the three sat around the hearth. "If no one will search for him, we must go ourselves." "But the hills are dangerous," Adana, the cautious middle sister, replied. "What if the monster is real?" Obiajili, the youngest, spoke up with determination in her voice. "Father would have searched for us if we were missing. We cannot abandon him." The sisters agreed to venture into the forbidden hills to find their father, despite the danger. The journey to the hills. Before they left, the sisters sought the advice of Mama Ekwi, the village elder and a woman known for her knowledge of ancient wisdom. Mama Ekwi listened to their plan and sighed deeply. "The hills are no place for the faint-hearted," she said, her voice low and grave. "But I see the fire of courage in your hearts. Take this with you." She handed them 3 items, a calabash of enchanted water, a piece of chalk, and a bundle of herbs. "The water will protect you from harm, the chalk will reveal hidden paths, and the herbs will weaken the monster if you encounter it. Use them wisely." Armed with these gifts and their unwavering bond, the sisters set out at dawn. The journey to the hills was long and arduous. The closer they got, the more the air seemed to thicken with tension. Birds stopped singing, and even the trees seemed to lean away from the path as if warning them to turn back. The trials of the hills. As they climbed the steep slopes of the hills, the sisters faced their first trial. A thick mist descended upon them, blinding them and making it impossible to see the path ahead. "This must be one of Ekwensu Odri's tricks," Nkem said. She remembered Mama Ekwi's gift and used the chalk to draw symbols on the ground. The mist parted, revealing a hidden trail. The second trial came in the form of a chasm that seemed impossible to cross. As they stood at the edge, a voice echoed from the depths. "Turn back, or you will meet your doom." Adana, the cautious one, hesitated, but Obiajili knelt by the edge and poured a drop of the enchanted water into the chasm. A shimmering bridge appeared, allowing them to cross safely. The third trial was the most terrifying. As they neared the heart of the hills, they heard a deep, guttural growl. From the shadows emerged a pack of shadowy wolves with glowing red eyes. The wolves circled them, snapping their jaws. "Quick, the herbs!" Nkem shouted. Adana threw the bundle of herbs into the air, and the wolves recoiled, howling in pain as the herbs burned like fire in the air. The pack scattered, and the sisters pressed on, confronting Ekwensu Odri. At last, they reached a dark cave at the summit of the hills. The entrance was jagged and ominous, and a foul stench emanated from within. "This must be it," Nkem said, gripping her sister's hands. "Stay together." As they stepped inside, the ground trembled, and a deep voice boomed, "Who dares enter my domain?" Ekwensu Odri emerged from the shadows, towering over them. Its eyes burned like embers, and its claws gleamed like sharpened iron. The sisters stood their ground, though their hearts pounded with fear. "We have come for our father," Onwukwe, Nkem declared. The monster laughed, a sound like rocks crashing together. "The man trespassed into my territory. He is mine now, as you will soon be." Ekwensu Ojiri lunged at them, but Obiageli, quick on her feet, splashed the enchanted water at the monster. The water hissed and sizzled as it touched its skin, causing the beast to howl in pain. Adana scattered the remaining herbs, which weakened the monster further. Nkem took the chalk and drew a circle around her sisters. "Chokwu, guide us," she prayed. The circle began to glow, and the monster recoiled, unable to approach. Realizing it was losing, Ekwensu Ojiri roared in fury. "You may have bested me, but you will never find your father." But the sisters refused to give up. The glowing circle expanded, pushing the monster back into the shadows. As it retreated, the ground shook, and a hidden door in the cave wall creaked open. The rescue. Inside the hidden chamber, they found Onwukwe, weak but alive. He had been trapped by the monster for weeks, forced to weave magical cloths for its lair. Tears filled his eyes as he embraced his daughters. "You have done what no one else dared to do," he said, his voice trembling with pride and gratitude. "You have saved me and defeated a great evil." Together, they left the cave, and as they stepped into the light, the hills seemed to sigh with relief. The air was fresh again, and the land no longer felt cursed. They returned to Udochi. When the sisters and their father returned to the village, the people were astonished and overjoyed. News of their bravery spread, and they were hailed as heroes. Mama Ekwe smiled as she saw them, knowing that their courage had lifted the shadow that had loomed over the village for generations. The hills, once feared, became a symbol of the sisters' triumph. No longer did Ekwensu Ojiri haunt the land, and the people of Udochi prospered in peace. As for Nkem, Adana, and Obiageli, their bond grew even stronger. They continued to care for their father and became leaders in the village, teaching others the value of courage, unity, and faith. And so, the tale of the three sisters and the monster of the hills was passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the face of great darkness, the light of bravery and love can shine through.